Tracy P. Today I'm going to be teaching you tips on how to do your makeup for the perfect photo ID picture for color photography on lighter skin. We've all done it. We've taken the bad license picture, the bad passport picture. Today I'm going to teach you tips on how to look picture perfect for your pictures. And later in this video, we'll be showing the same tips for black skin. Today my model is Dilshad, my good friend. How long have we known each other, Dilshad?
Like 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, I'd say about 5 years.
Yeah.
She's my good friend. She's going to help me out today. So first thing what we want to do is start with a primer. When you're taking, especially your passport pictures, a lot of the times they have a rule of having no glare in the pictures. And the reason they have that is because they don't want any shine to interfere with the image of your face. So a great way to get rid of shine on your face is to start with a primer. So we're just going to put a primer all over Dilshad's face. Next, we want to make sure we even out the skin with some concealer or your favorite foundation. Remember, these pictures are being taken in color, so it's good to even out your skin. Now that we've finished evening out our skin, we're just going to put a little powder on to set everything. Now that we've set the powder, but we still have one more step. Remember when I talked about getting rid of all the glare from your pictures? It's best to go with a blot powder or translucent powder. Most companies have their own version of it. I'm going to use today the one from MAC. It's called a blot powder. This powder's sole purpose is just to get rid of shine. So what you want to do is you want to put this all over the face to help mattify the skin. And you're also going to take this handy dandy powder with you when you go to take your pictures, and right before you take your pictures, you're going to put this all over your face, and it's going to help mattify the skin so you have no glare in your pictures. Okay, we're moving on to eyes here. Eyes are very important when you're taking pictures for your photo ID. You want to make sure you keep them really, really neutral. What neutral just means is something very natural looking, something that's very, almost simulates the same color as your skin. Okay, so we're going to keep it really natural, really clean. If you're going with something that's too bright, it's too distracting for the picture. If you go with something too dark, it's also too distracting, and your eyes are going to look like two caves. So you want to stay away from that. So no smoky eyes, lady. Keep it clean, keep it natural. I'm just going to go in with a really light beige or like a smoky type of brown. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of a highlighter right underneath Dilshad's brow bone. You want to make sure that you're keeping your eyeshadows with a matte texture and you're not using shimmers. So a lot of the times highlight colors tend to be shimmery, but I'm going to ask you to use a matte textured one because shimmers with a flash reflects and it kind of appears shiny. And we once again want to stay away from anything on your face looking shiny and reflecting light. So make sure the highlight color is a matte texture. The next tip is eyeliner. If you're going to do anything else, ladies, you want to make sure you define the eyes with your eyeliner. The pictures that you're going to be taking for your photo ID are taken from a distance, and the only way for your eyes to not get lost is to make sure that you define your eyes with eyeliner. So I'm just going to go in there, do a quick little line using a pencil. You can use a pencil, you can use a liquid liner, whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as you don't make the line too thick and too dark, just because, once again, as I said earlier, you don't want the line or your eyes to be too dark because you want it to be a true depiction of yourself. Another tip that's a must-have is mascara, ladies. Once again, if you're taking a picture from a distance like the photo ID pictures, the only way for your eyes to pop is to definitely apply mascara, so you want to do that. Especially with Dilshad here, she has really long lashes, so it's really going to make a difference on her. Moving on to the cheeks. When you have lighter skin, you want to make sure that you don't look washed out and lifeless in your pictures. So you want to make sure you add some life back to your skin, and you can do that with blush. So I'm just going to sweep it right here in the hollows of the cheeks, and then just dab a little bit on the apples of her cheeks. You want to once again keep it as natural as possible.
So I have a question about blush. A lot of people say like smile when you're putting it on, and so how far up do you go? Like, because the next thing you know, you're into your eyes, right?
That's actually a good question, because a lot of the times as a makeup artist, people automatically start smiling. There's nothing wrong with smiling. I just personally don't really need people to do that because for the exact same reason you're saying. When you smile, you just look straight ahead. When you smile, it shortens this area here, and sometimes it makes the brush go all the way up there, and
right.
Once it gets too high, you're actually closing up that area. So you don't want your blush ever to go past your bone right here, your cheekbone. So I don't need people to smile because I just kind of follow your cheekbone.
Right.
But when you smile, like, look what happens. See, now the brush is way up there, and I don't like that.
Exactly.
So that's why. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, it's just preference. I don't actually like when people smile. I don't like when people smile in general. But I'm just joking, no smiling for you. No, I prefer that people keep their face relaxed, and then I can kind of sculpt it to the way I want it to look, as opposed to your smile guiding me. Moving on to the lips. When you have fairer skin or lighter skin and you're taking pictures for photo ID that are in color, it's best to kind of go with a color that's more of a berry or a coral. These colors are not too intrusive, they're not too bright, and they're not too dark, but they're going to give you just enough pop to give your face some life. So I'm going to go in with like a berry type of color here, but it's still pretty neutral. Because once again, like I've been saying throughout the video, is that you want this to be a true depiction of yourself. So you don't want the lips to be too crazy, too bright. No bright red lipsticks for the passport pictures or your license pictures. It's just too distracting. So we're finished with Dilshad's lip, but one final tip is, remember when I told you that they don't like any shine? That also refers to the lips. So it's best to go with a matte textured lipstick. If you don't have a matte textured lipstick, a tip is to get that blot powder that I was talking about earlier. Take a sponge or a powder puff that it comes with, and then lightly dab over the lipstick that you've drawn. Now, this powder doesn't have a lot of color to it. It's pretty translucent, so it's really not going to affect the lipstick color. It's not going to compromise it too much. Just dab over it like that, and now it's mattified it, so once again, you don't have to worry about getting your picture rejected for having too much shine. And now she's picture perfect for her photo ID. Hi, I'm Tracy P, and today I'm going to be talking about how to do makeup for black skin for photo ID pics. We've all taken horrible pictures, and today I'm going to help you out. Today my model is Anastasia. Hi, Anastasia.
Hello.
We met through a mutual friend, so we don't actually know each other very well, but so far she's a nice lady. Let's get started. Depending on where you live, the photo IDs, like your passports, your driver's license, but especially your passport, they have rules that they don't want any glare in the pictures. And the reason why they don't want any glare is because they don't want any type of shininess or glare to interfere with the image of yourself. So the most important thing when you're starting to do your makeup for your photo IDs is to start with a primer. And you're gonna put your primer all over your face. After you've applied your primer, you want to go in and you want to even out your skin with concealer or your favorite foundation. Remember, these pictures are being taken in color, so you are going to see all your imperfections. So I'm just going to go in here and just lay a little concealer underneath the eye here.
When you're putting on concealer, do you think it's better to have a lighter color under your eyes?
Yes, it's always best to go with a color that's 2 to 3 shades lighter than your actual skin color, because you're usually covering something dark underneath your eyes. And especially if you're going to be taking pictures, you want your eyes to be bright and be awake and be alive, so you don't want any darkness so they look like hollow caves. You don't want your eyes to look dark, so always go with concealer, no matter even if you're taking pictures or even in real life. You want something that's 2 to 3 shades lighter. The only time that you would pick a concealer that matches your skin exactly is if you're covering blemishes on your skin. So now that we've evened out the skin, we're just going to set it with some powder. Just want to do a light dust like this all over the skin. So now that we put our powder on to set, what you want to do now is put a blot powder on. A blot powder is like a translucent powder. Almost every makeup company has their own version of it. Today I'm going to be using the one from MAC, and it's called blot powder. Its sole purpose is to take away shine. So remember I talked about earlier, no glare in your photo ID pictures. This is how you're going to cut down on shine. So I'm going to put this all over Anastasia's face, just like this. And a good thing to do too is to make sure you take this blot powder with you to go take your pictures. So right before they snap, you're going to take this blot powder and you're going to take down your shine. Moving on to the eyes. For photo ID pictures, you always want to keep your makeup very, very simple. You want to keep the eyes really, really neutral. What neutral means is just keep them very natural looking, very close to her actual skin color. So we're going to use browns. You want to stay away from bright colors or colors that are too dark, because they're distracting as well as they're not a true depiction of yourself. And what the government is looking for is a true depiction of yourself. So stay away from the fuchsia eyeshadows and the blue eyeshadows. keep it real simple. So we're gonna go with like a really espresso sort of eyeshadow here on Anastasia. Now I'm just gonna go in and put a little bit of a highlighter right on her brow bone. What this does is like creates the illusion of lifting up the eyebrow. Remember to try and stay away from too much shimmer on the eye, because once again, when the flash of the camera for your photo ID, it's gonna read as a shiny. So stay away from shimmers. Always keep with matte textured eyeshadows. Moving on to one of the most important part of the eyes is eyeliner. When you're doing your photo ID pictures, you want your eyes to pop and to have some definition. So you definitely want to do the eyeliner. You can use liquid eyeliner, you can use a pencil eyeliner, as long as you line your eyes, especially if you wear glasses, because once you put your glasses on, your eyes will get lost, so you need some sort of definition. Close your eyes. So I'm just going to go with a black pencil here. If you'd like, you could line underneath the eyes just a little bit, but once again, don't go crazy, because I don't once again want too much darkness around the eye, but just a little bit helps define the eye. Another important part to defining the eyes is your lashes. So you want to make sure you put mascara on. This is very, very important for your photo ID. If you do nothing, do eyeliner and mascara. It really helps for your eyes to register from a distance. If you don't put that mascara on, your eyes are gonna kind of get lost. So now I'm just gonna put a little blush on Anastasia. Blush is important when it comes to color photography because you wanna just add a little bit of warmth back to your face. You've evened out your skin, which means you've blocked out everything. So now you wanna add some color and some life back to the face, and you can do that with blush. So moving on to the lips. So with the lips, you want to also make sure, with black skin, you want to make sure you keep the lips very neutral. If you go with really dark lips, it's too distracting. If you go with really bright lips, it's also just too distracting. So you want to make sure that you keep the image as close to what you really look like as possible. So we're going to go in with a little brown lip liner right here. This one's called Chestnut. I think every black girl in the world knows Chestnut lip liner from MAC. So now I'm just gonna go over just a little touch of wine. Wine is also a really good color for women of color to put on their lips for ID pictures because it gives you a little bit of oomph. Sometimes brown could be a little lifeless. It depends on the color of brown that you went with. So I'm just putting a little bit of a burgundy type of wine color. That's gonna look really pretty. So we finished her lips and they look beautiful, but as you can see, they're shiny. And for photo ID pictures, as I told you in the beginning, they do not like any type of shine. So it's best to go with a matte textured lipstick. Matte textured means just very dry textured lipstick. If you don't have one of those lipsticks, a really good trick is to take that handy dandy blot paper powder that I told you about earlier that you put all over your face, and this time you're just gonna take a little bit of a sponge or the powder puff that comes with it and then just go over the lipstick. And now she's picture perfect. Amazing. What age did you start wearing makeup?
I was a very late bloomer, so like 24.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite a while.
Wow.
Quite a while.
Wow. Why such the long wait?
I grew up in India. It's hot all the time. There's no kind of real, at least not in my family, there wasn't really a culture of wearing makeup like every day to go to school or to go to university or whatever. My mom always just had like a compact powder, a little bit of gloss. You know, I don't think I've ever seen her use mascara.
Okay.
So I've gone back now, and she'll, you know, if we're going out, she'll be like, okay, show me how you do it. You know, I'll help her with a little bit of mascara and stuff. But otherwise, we just didn't grow up with it. And so it just kind of, you know, I moved to Toronto, and then it was kind of like, wow, like everybody's all glam, you know. So I started experimenting at like 24.
And now you've made up for lost time because
sure
this
have.
girl likes her face beige.
I do.
She likes a full makeup.
I do like my makeup. I started experimenting like crazy and just used anything and everything. So I kind of.
And you're pretty good at it yourself.
I learned on the way. I had some very good makeup artists when I started out, you know, who gave me some very good tips. So I learned on the way for sure.
Okay, all right. What is your makeup pet peeve?
See, this one is rough for me. I have a very odd skin tone for Canada, I think. So it's not quite white, but it's not quite brown. And so I'm somewhere in the middle of this weird like yellow beige, you know, color. And so it's literally impossible to find a shade. There are some companies that do like decent shades and I can sort of get away with just the one color. Most of the times I have to mix. I hate mixing because I don't actually like taking the time to put makeup on. One, if I can just throw some powder on, that's great. So I think just finding the right shade is my main thing.
Try being this color.
Yeah,
There's like
exactly.
4 lines that exist that have my color. But it's
Exactly.
true, when I
Yeah.
do your makeup, I always mix.
Yes.
I always mix colors.
Yeah, and I've been told I'm yellow. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever. I'm just yellow.
Not a good thing or a bad
Yeah.
thing, it's just what
Yeah,
everybody
so
everybody
it's
has different
difficult to
tones.
offset that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. You are stuck on an island.
Yes.
You have one makeup product. What is it?
You know, I thought about this for a while, and I think my lashes are fine the way they are. Like, I don't necessarily need to amp them up too much.
you have
So, you know, if
lashes.
I wanted to like flirt with the natives, I would probably take like a mix. You know, you get like those liquid balms that are kind of like gloss. Like, I would do one of those, like a balm gloss
A
mix.
gloss, yes.
Because I feel like even if I'm looking like nonsense in the morning and I just throw on a little bit of that, I'm good to go.
I agree,
Yeah.
a gloss fixes everything.
Yes.
Just certainly does.
Yes.
And you can flirt with those natives. What was the best makeup tip you've ever been taught, and by whom?
See, you're gonna love this. And I'm not kidding. The best makeup tip I was ever taught was by you.
Everybody's gonna think I paid them to do this, but I didn't. But anyway,
Yeah, you could later.
okay.
But honestly, like seriously, honestly, it's the thing about that saliva will help
It
remove
will.
anything. And
It
it sounds gross, but you just have to kind of, you know, lick a Q-tip. And it's the only reason I became confident in putting eyeliner on, because I was like, if I mess up, it just comes right up. It's like an eraser. It just
It
comes
really
right
is
off.
an eraser. I know it sounds really gross, people, but just take a Q-tip, go just lick it like that, and
Yeah.
it will remove any mistake that you make.
Yeah.
Don't do makeup removers because makeup removers disturb what you had going on.
Yes.
If you just want to remove the mistake you made, lick on a Q-tip, do
Yeah.
it. It's eraser.
Yeah, it's the best
It's
thing.
gross,
And-
but
and
it works.
it's, you know what, it's as gross as licking your lips really. You've got like spit everywhere anyway.
And
So
then-
it's, yeah, so it's literally, it's the thing that has helped me get better with like eyeliner and stuff, because I know that I can just go poof and fix
And you're
it.
not scared.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Worst makeup disaster.
Okay, I'm not gonna name names, but I've been in a lot of makeup chairs and I've had a lot of people work on my face, and so it's kind of hard, I guess, because sometimes when you're not familiar with a face or the way it moves or whatever, it's difficult. So I had somebody rush through a makeup with me. I can't remember why now, but they were going really, really fast. And with anybody, if you're rushing through something, you're making mistakes. And so we were just, it was right at the end. It was bad enough that I didn't like what was happening on my face. And then right at the end, we were doing mascara. And she was rushing. So the mascara wand went, wah, like right here. And so this giant black mark. Now, I know the saliva trick. So my instinct was to reach for a Q-tip and lick it and give it to her. I really did. I went like this around and I gave it to her, and she didn't even look, and she was already onto like a sponge, and she started rubbing and rubbing, and
Made
then
it worse.
so not only did the black spread all over my face, but then after a while I was hurting because you can't get rid of mascara off of foundation like that. So she was so then I was turning red, and then my nose hurt the whole time. It was just getting worse and worse and worse. And I remember after she left the room, I cried.
Oh.
Because not only was it so, because you know how it is with makeup ladies, like if you're not looking fly, like you're gonna feel really awful.
Yeah.
And I had to go to a shoot right after.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like your makeup is messed up. I'm telling her stop. You're hurting me. She wouldn't stop, even though it would hurt. Like I feel like I was being tortured.
You were being attacked by makeup brushes. Oh, that's horrible.
It was terrible. So that was my worst experience. So now I just know to sort of speak up a little more even.
Right.
Like if it's hurting, just be like, yell if they want stop.
Exactly.
That doesn't feel good, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty bad.
It was so nice talking to you, Dilsha.
Same here, definitely.
Face it.
Face it.
Hi, I'm Tracy. Hi, I'm Tracy P. Like I'm sweating. Am I sweating?
You're glowing.
Do it again.
You look like a zombie.
Alright, bye.
So annoying. And check out my iPhone app, Makeup IQ, to see how much you know about makeup.